and HPV national rollout and introduction into the routine immunization. What are some of the lessons learned, challenges, and way forward? Good. This is just a picture of the demonstration. Sorry, it's a poor quality, but this was what I was able to get for the presentation. So, HPV was introduced in the Gambia as indicated in the map in 2014-2016. And it was introduced in West Coast region. And this covers 2 health regions. That's Western 1 and Western 2 health region. The region is chosen simply because of its diversity in terms of ethnicity and its geographical location, because it has both rural and urban setting. And usually any vaccine introduction demonstration can be demonstrated, can be rolled out across the country with ease. Moving forward, as I said, the Gambia implemented the HPV demonstration program in Brikama local government area, which is covering 2 health regions, Western 1 health region and Western 2 health region. And these 2 health regions constitute 64% of the total population. And we introduced 2014 to 2016, targeting 2 cohorts of schoolgirls in grade 3 and their peers out of school, age 9 to 14. And the delivery strategy is school-based, and we are using a campaign mode. Good. The demo results, year 1, a total of 9,432 girls were targeted with an administrative coverage of 87% and a survey coverage of 82%. And year 2, 9,459 girls were targeted with administrative coverage of 89% and a survey coverage of 91%. Having fulfilled the demonstration requirement, the Gambia introduced and rolled out HPV nationally in November 2019. And we targeted girls in grade 3, out of school girls aged 9 to 14 years, and a multi-age cohort. And for the multi-age cohort girls in grade 4 to 6 in demo area, as you might remember, we vaccinated a 2-year demonstration. So 2-year demonstration, grade 4 to 6 were targeted for the rollout in West Coast region, and grade 4 to 8 in the non-demo area, meaning the remaining part of the country. A total target of 144,647 girls were targeted, and out of which 2% are out of school girls, equating to 2,893. And this 2% is the statistic from Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education. HPV rollout Dose 1 coverage by region 2019. As you can see, the 2 main population drivers of the country are the ones performing less. That's Western 1 health region, 82%, and Western health region 2 of 80%. As I said, it constitutes 64% of the total population. So even if all the other regions perform 100%, eventually the national coverage will be lowered because of the 2 main population in the regions. And we had a national coverage of 83%. Year 2, as Gambia is vaccinating on annual basis, we all know logistics or finance for HPV routine vaccination is very, very minimal. And to maximize resources, we vaccinate once in every academic year, and also putting into factor that teachers and students have valuable contact period, which should not be compromised. So in 2021, as we were vaccinating for those one, and we equally vaccinated for those two, those that were vaccinated in 2019. Because 2020, because of COVID-19, no vaccination was, and we had in school girls, meaning schools in girls in grade 3, 34,100 and 341,000, 34,104 girls out of, and 6,696 out of school girls, totaling it to 34,800 girls for those one, and also 119,406 for those two. This is where the challenge of HPV vaccination in the Gambia began. When we rolled out in 2019, we vaccinated 83% of our target population. Then comes COVID-19. We did not vaccinate. Then schools were closed. As schools were open, the technical working group, which is headed by the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, advised the country to wait for the schools to settle, knowing that they've been closed for a while. Then they gave us an advice to vaccinate in March, shortly before COVID-19 vaccine was available. All preparations were made. So unfortunately, as we began, the circulation of vaccination trial in Africa was just rolling on social media. It became a crisis in the country. Parents were running to schools, picking their children, detaining their kids at home, fighting teachers for allowing their children to be vaccinated. It really became a nightmare in the era of HPV vaccination. The data shown here is not the data for March. The data for March was less than 10%. So after, okay, let me go to some of the challenges. I will come back to the slide, please. Refusals and vaccine hesitancy due to rumors and misinformation on COVID-19 vaccination trials in Africa. COVID-19 restrictions that led to closure of schools. We know schools were closed but later reopened. But because of social distancing and to reduce the number of children per class size, this also hindered our vaccination, because vaccination teams will be in schools, they will be seeing the same children. Others will come on shift. So it became a really a bitter problem for the country. And we know inadequate funding. We know apart from introduction, there was no funding for routine. So we try to maximize the available resources to vaccinate HPV. This is why we go for yearly, so that we'll capture two cohorts, those with those one and also those two. And also competing priorities among health workers. COVID-19 with the 70% target is really a challenge on the health sector. For a country like the Gambia, for us to reach the 70% target for our country, we institute monthly 10 days COVID-19 vaccination campaign. Therefore, it's very, very difficult for other activities to continue. This we have to squeeze routine, because routine cannot be interrupted. Limited knowledge on some parents and girls. We realized parents have limited knowledge on COVID-19 and the targeted girls equally do have a limited knowledge on girls. Inadequate tracking of adolescent girls due to the use of manual registers. We know paper-based registration is a problem.
Ms. Kinteh, thank you so much. If you could wrap up in 2 minutes, that would be great.
Okay. So post-COVID-19 response strategy. What we've done to pick up from where we are. Initially, we mapped and engaged all vaccine hesitancy communities. We've integrated HPV communication in all COVID-19 communication. And this, we've seen a high results because as we speak, 20 to 17-year-old adolescents, about 83,000 already received COVID-19 vaccination. So we are hopeful once we vaccinate in November 2022, the coverage will seriously improve. And now we've built vaccine confidences through community engagements and structures. What are some of the lessons learned? High political will and commitment is critical for any successful COVID-19 HPV vaccination. And involvement of Ministry of Education and other stakeholders like Ministry of Gender is also very key for any successful HPV vaccination. Engaging community structures, community health workers, and influential leaders in the preparation. Because when we went into the crisis in 2021, we relied on our community structures, especially the religious leaders, the influential leaders. And HPV delivery through a campaign mode is very effective and is yielding results in the Gambia. What are some of the way forward? Integrating HPV vaccination with COVID-19 and other school health programs. We know school health programs such as deworming is being done on annual basis. So integrating HPV vaccination with such program will yield coverage and maximize uptake. Implementing the SAGE recommendation of 1 dose. We are hopeful by December 2022, WHO will obviously give a green light to countries so that we can go by the 1 dose because it's cost effective and it is also convenient for service delivery. Building vaccine confidence through community engagement and partnership, and also engagement of educational structures such as cluster monitors, school management committees, and other mothers clubs. Yes, conducting defaulter tracing. As I indicated, I will go back to the slide on HPV 2021. The results was after our COVID-19 response, the results was through defaulter tracing. This is routinely instituted where every quarter the immunization program will conduct defaulter tracing. So we've integrated HPV vaccination into that. As they are placing for children 0 to 5 years, they also go to schools and also in communities to vaccinate for HPV. Use of electronic HPV registers, as I highlighted. HPV manual registration is a challenge, and moving forward with support from Gavi, Group, the country is to implement electronic register to enable tracking of girls in school and in the community for HPV. So, sincerely, HPV vaccination is a major challenge post COVID-19, but we have done so much engagement and with the acceptance of COVID vaccination among adolescents. We are hopeful come November 2022, the country will get its right footing on HPV vaccination. On that note, I thank you very much for your time.